I'm good.
A very warm welcome to all our listeners around the world. You're welcome to the TOKUNBO FERNANDEZ show, all about promoting the true life and success stories of Africans and Caribbeans around the world. If there's a product or initiative you want to share within a community, feel free to give us a call on 0788 280 9005. That's 0788 280 9005. Also, take a few seconds to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This channel is for you. As I said before, it's all about promoting the true life stories of Africans and Caribbeans around the world. We have a very amazing guest today. So we're logging into Nigeria now. He is a champion community leader here in the UK and also in Nigeria, founder of Britain's only mainstream, or rather Europe's only black mainstream channel. He's got his fingers in many pies as well, a great community leader. And also he's also running quite a number of current initiatives at the moment that the world would want to hear about. So CEO of Ben TV, Dr. Ben, Dr. Alistair Soyode, always nice to see you. It's been a while since we saw in person, but it's great to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning to the viewers and listeners. And it's good really to see you. You're looking very well. COVID pandemic has no effects on you at all. So that's very good.
No, we're taking advantage of exercises for a change, But I know amongst Nigerians in the diaspora and around the world, you're quite well known. But for the benefit of listeners or African and Caribbean listeners in the diaspora and other regions around the world, can you tell us a bit about yourself, your background, and what you're most passionate about in life?
Well, thank you very much, Tony. Really, the only thing I can say is my background is somebody who studied agriculture at the basic level. And then when I moved into UK and following all the stories about the empowerment or not empowerment of the Black people, Black community in the United Kingdom, I thought, well, definitely there must be a story of successful Black people, be it African, Caribbean, or citizens of any way, as long as they're Black in the United Kingdom. And with that, not trying to find that information, trying to promote such personalities, led me into television. It's not like I have a television background, but it's just that the empty space of not appreciating, recognizing, and talking about the achievement of Black people led me into television as either a production company or somebody that at least can highlight the achievement, as I said, of our Black people, whatever it is that they're doing, which is positive. And that led to the creation and setting up the first Black-oriented television that cater for the African Caribbean in the United Kingdom and by and large in Europe. So that's what gave birth to Ben Television. And of course, then when we started, it became like a pro bono channel that is rendering the services of the Black community to the wider mainstream people who have never really come across to see how much more Black people have been contributing to the development of the United Kingdom. But with Ben arriving, it allowed them to interact and then see how much we have come, what we have been doing, and how we have been sustaining ourselves as people of different cultures, coming either from Africa or from the Caribbean, or those born in the United Kingdom. So it was a process, it was a project, it was an initiative that one continued to learn on the job. And that's what we've been doing for close to 2 decades. So it hasn't been easy, never was, but we're grateful that with the emergence of Ben, we have seen others that came to continue to fill that gap, because the ethos of Ben Television is since bridging the gap. And there are many, many more gaps that we need to bridge, either by us as Ben or by as many media platforms that deliver the ideology and the belief of the Black community, which is now definitely facing much more a tougher challenge than ever before.
And that brings me to my next question, actually, because in terms of like bridging the gap and looking for solution-driven, solutions to the future, what are the major challenges that you've been facing right now at the moment? And how can we bridge that gap? How can communities around the world bridge that gap? And how can the diaspora bridge that gap?
You see, for me, as a former chairman of Nigerians in the diaspora, which is one of the largest ethnic or African in the diaspora organization with more than 10 million of Nigerians outside the country, it allowed me to interact and know more about the challenges that we face. Back home in the United Kingdom, that we would call it, then we have a bigger problem. Because the truth is, as much as other people, for example, would like to compare Ben Television with the mainstream, we are not the mainstream. We are the mainstream for our Black community. The likes of the big mainstream out there, people pay for TV license. So it means that that big mainstream organization has got billions to utilize and create the program, pay people, do all the things, which we don't. But again, we have rendered the services to our Black community for 20 years. So we have to look at if somebody is asking me what are the challenges are, our people are not patronizing a business or businesses that have a wider reach to reach our audience and to reach our people. So with that, then we have to face that challenges. Mr. Tony, let's look at it. We do not have a national newspaper that prints almost every week in the United Kingdom. We do not have a radio station that you can pick on the FM nationwide every time. We don't. Then the Black TV station like ours is the only one that are there on a daily basis, rendering services to our community. So if you want to compare us with the mainstream that people are even paying license and patronizing, even the other ones that are businesses, the big international businesses patronizing, then we have a long way to go. So for me, the biggest challenge is your people not patronizing, not putting their content and product and advertorial on it. And then you have to rely on the places like I am now, Africa, to generate whatever it is that you can generate and then continue to provide that service for our people. So if there's no ban, the fact is we will face more challenges in our community because then we do not have an authoritative voice that is representing the yearning of the Black community. Yet we keep saying that we have been marginalized, we have been forgotten, we have been abandoned. But the big mainstream use the opportunity that they have a reach. The other ethnic community probably patronize their own, and that's why they have more voice. And you see them in strategic places in government policy making more than ours. How many of our Black MPs are patronizing the Black medias? Yet we keep talking about the Black medias. Let's be realistic. We have the MPs out there. What are they doing? But apart from that, coming back home, the challenges are big, but they can be overcome. And because with that, at least we can represent the yearning of our people and we can cry more and people can hear the cries more. So the ball is really within the hands of our people that we can come together, just like Ben keeps saying, bridging the gap, for us to bridge the gap that we're facing. Now with the pandemic, what we have seen over the last year and up to now, are the misinformation, misrepresentation, they're all there facing us as a community. So we need to do something about it.
So now in terms of like bridging the gap, people getting more involved and patronizing our main Black mainstream channel in platform. First and foremost, for benefit of those who want to get more involved, not just by patronizing, but becoming media partners, are there social media platforms out there in terms of your website address and social media platforms that people can contact Ben TV?
Yes, well, the website is just www.bentelevision.com and all the social media handle, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram is at Ben Television with the S, Ben Television. So we are there, but we can definitely do more for our community. If you follow the royal story, and the royal story in the United Kingdom is between us and them, that means we need to not just represent, but we need to give the accurate stories of where we're coming from and what we are doing. So as we try now to expand our reach or to expand our content delivery, we have challenge. It costs more than 50,000 on a monthly basis to run a satellite channel, 50 grand. So you're talking about if somebody is spending millions in a year to provide the service that we're doing for for our community, be it business, but at least when we started, it was a pro bono, something that has to be done for the Black community, something we have to join hands to do. But now 2 decades and one is still standing, sometimes you feel that you need to think otherwise.
Okay, and we'll ensure we'll just throw out the content to promote television, especially on new platforms. Now, you're currently in Nigeria at the moment, and I know you're involved in mentoring campaigns and other initiatives. For the benefit of all the listeners, can you tell us about what current other initiatives you're involved in the moment in terms of your mentoring campaigns?
Well, thanks. As a business person in a small way, our youth, especially in Africa, also in Nigeria and across all the African countries, they lack a lot of resources. And one of the biggest ones that we keep hearing is mentorship. There are lack of mentors that can guide, advise them, upcoming people going into business or people even in school, universities. And so we thought the best thing that we can do with our position is really to begin to mentor as many based on your professional career. So as a poet, as a writer, as an author, you, when you visit Nigeria or Ghana and you have a day to spare, you can use that day to go to university or youth engagement and then share your poetic author, as an author, as a writer, share your experience with them and then guide them. And then hopefully from there, you might find 1 or 2 that you can mentor directly as well. But if not based on corporate institution, then you follow the corporate institutional line and mentor and share your experience. And that has been very productive. So as we have done the template, now is to make it much more bigger across Africa, working with other international organizations that will support the ideology and the initiatives of mentoring. And so basically we have it at the NIDMECORP.com, which means needmecall.com. And the idea is this is the uniform Nigerian version of it, which we wear, well, for those who want to wear the uniform. But I feel privileged and comfortable wearing it because this is something that I have decided to do more than any other things, to develop potential leaders, to work with our youth, to encourage them, to motivate them. And so, yes, as many out there that want to mentor somebody, you know, it's like adopt a cat, adopt a dog, you know. So adopt somebody, adopt a human being who can then adopt this all the stuff that you want to adopt. So mentor, it won't cost you much. It's just your time. As I said, on your holiday trip, you just want to dedicate a day out there to do it. And it's a wonderful experience. You come across real life people sharing their knowledge or lack of it. And you are an expert, especially from the diaspora, you know how things work. You'll be able to encourage and motivate them and guide them. And where necessary, do the best that you can so that our nation and our continent can really move forward.
On a very final note, you contested for the last elections as president of Nigeria. Any political aspirations in the pipeline?
Now, as I would like to say, is that I'm an elder state retired man. So now it's basically focusing on working with those who really want to go into politics. We have seen it, we have participated, we know the up and we know the downs. And if you don't have resources, big capital, for now, it will be hard for you to achieve your aim unless you really, really have the followers. And then with the followers, then definitely you can achieve. And it's not about the politics and the politicians going in. I have this thing to say that any politician that has been in politics in Africa, more so in Nigeria for more than 5 years, you shouldn't re-elect them, you shouldn't pick them up again, because the degradation of the country, for anybody who was telling that he's been there for 10 years or 15 years, and yet the nation is where she is right now, then he is culpable as somebody who has contributed to the failure in the system. So you shouldn't go back to them. We need to find leaders among us that can stand, that can be backed by a political party, a political structure, for them to emerge as potential candidate and hopefully win election in a free and fair democratic process. So for me now is really sharing that experience and being mindful that we do have the capacity and the capabilities of these people, but we have to be realistic that it will take time, but it's achievable, especially when we all agree that we need a change. So the question is, are Nigerians, are Africans ready for a change? If they are not, then we should not blame those who are standing and getting elected because they stood. They did what they have to do to get the seat in the State House of Assembly and in the National Assembly. So if you want to defeat them, you have to play the game and hopefully emerge, and then now begin to provide that good governance that you yearn for and that good leadership. Without it, as much as we Blacks keep saying that some mainstream Western nation are undermining our principle, our knowledge, but we're not sharing our principle and our knowledge. So you cannot blame the West. You cannot blame somebody who will keep telling you that you are wrong when you're not telling him that you are right. They use avenues to share their message, and you don't have avenues to share your message. You can't blame anybody who took over what you don't want or what you didn't play to achieve, especially where if there are rule of law, then great, because then all of us will celebrate knowing that we're going to be protected by our nation or by the rule of law. So we're supposed to do, and then we can shake up and say, I did my part, I played my role.
Fantastic. It's all about promoting the true life stories of Africans and Caribbeans around the world. It's also about promoting the biggest mainstream TV station in Europe. So why don't you visit www.bentelevision.com. That's www.bentelevision.com. Patronize, see how you can get involved. Dr. Soyode, always proud of the great work you're doing, and it's a pleasure to see you soon.
Thank you very much.
I'll catch up with you soon.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.